Greetings to everyone who is watching BNP TV today. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. We are extremely happy to have people can watch this TV, especially this show, the Standpoint. And I'm also happy to be with two young people in the studio. I can give them time to greet you as well, and also maybe to introduce themselves a little bit. So I will start by my right side. Today I'm with also Raja. Maybe you can, add more new introduction, also maybe greet our viewers.
Yeah, thank you. Before I say something, I really appreciate you guys. It's a great thing because, like being in a great place like this, it's honor. So my name is Rajab, as you said before. I think I am 18 years old. I'm not a child, as you think. So I was saying it's a great honor, and I wanted to greet even people who are listening to us now. So they are great people. I think they are, it's kind of honor to be with them, of course. So I am with my friend. I think he's going to introduce himself because he's not a child. So yeah, I think I'm pupil. I don't have a girlfriend. By the way.
Sorry for you. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's fine. So let's also have a brother Yusuf. Also, he can maybe tell us more about his introduction. Also, greet people watching us today.
So first of all, thank you for the floor, and good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Akizimana Yusuf. I study at Lycée Municipal of Cibitoke, second language, and it's great honor being with you together. So I live Cibitoke, first street number 7. Yeah, that's it. I'm Burundian. Yeah.
Also single.
Yes, of course, I'm single.
All right, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so let me go into the topic, and for me to just, tackle it bit by bit, let me tell you that here in the country we had, from the data in our world, in today's data, we have like almost 14 person who suicide themselves per 100,000 person in 2021. You understand that people sometimes they, even end their lives. I don't know why, and we also have so many cases not only in the country but even all over the world. People are self-harming. I mean, they are do bad on their own body, and also sometimes on even their internal parts. I mean, like for example, the brain or other mental health that they put in disorder because maybe they feel better when they are doing that. So today we'll try to understand what is that. So I want to know self-harm and suicide. Is that something that happens in the country? Because that's also something that is done mostly by young people, teenagers. But you see, they are no longer teenagers, but let's say they are. No, but you understand they are at the end of that period of time, and then maybe they can tell us if they have maybe seen young people experiencing self-harm, if they know someone maybe suicided themselves. So I want to know, is this something that happens to the country, self-harm and suicide? Let's start by maybe Raja.
Yeah, of course that happens in everywhere, I think, because it's something normal, by the way. Yeah, because people, they kill themselves, they harm themselves, and yeah, it happens, and it is, of course, where you're gonna find some children are killing themselves, all the people, they are killing themselves because maybe for stresses and the other stuffs, or like a person can kill himself because of beliefs, of course. So like recently you heard in Pakistan, there are some people are killing themselves because of their beliefs, maybe because of stresses, maybe. So it's something normal which is happening all over the world, and you shouldn't be like afraid, too much afraid because of that. So it's something normal, I think.
Well, we get back to you,
Yeah.
shortly. Let me ask Brother Yusuf the same question. Do you think that is something that is happening in the country, Burundi?
Yes, of course. I may say even in Burundi, it's happening. Just people are harming themselves. Also, some guys are suiciding themselves, things like that, depending on the, on what they are having in their mind. For example, I may say like some people, they can be just having a big anger. In that case, they may harm themselves just to release, that anger, or to take a relief on that anger. Some guys, they may be just depression, have a lot of stress, problem of financial. In that case, you find people just harming themselves just to decrease that anger or to get out of that problem. It's what I can say.
So, well, Roger is saying this is something normal. People harming themselves or people killing themselves, that's something normal. So for me, I think it's something that is abnormal because, life is good. We need to enjoy life. Life is beautiful. Life is, something that gives pleasure. Of course, I know there are so many challenges out there. There are so many setbacks, but we need to face them, and that shows maturity. And you're getting mature, by the way. So I want to know, why are you saying it's really normal? Is it normal for you?
On my side, for sure, it's not normal.
It's not normal. But this one is saying normal.
Yeah.
How can you say it's normal?
So I was saying before, it's normal because, instead of harming someone else because you are stressed, or killing someone because you are stressed, I think it's very bad when you kill someone. So you should kill yourself. If you see your problems is actually very much. By the way, even parents, they do that, they see my children are not going to study today, my children are not going to eat, by the way. So they feel like, or they think something is going to be bad. They're going to get shamed. They're going to be disrespected in the society, communities. So it's now bad when you go to kill the other person because you are stressed, or you go to steal someone because you have your such kind of problems. So that's according to Indian culture. So people should harm themselves because it's not need to go and harm other person because you are stressed, you have so many problems, you have what, so I have to kill this person. No. So if you see your problem are very over your control, you should harm yourself to show that you are stressed, maybe to show that you have so many problems, but not go and kill other person because of that. No, harm yourself. It's okay.
Well, you got his argument.
Yes, I got his idea.
Okay, so well, what's your take on that?
For sure, maybe my brother, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm totally disagreeing with my brother. What I can say, instead of harming yourself, there is other things that you may do in that time, just to get out of that problems. Because we people, we have always just to face problems, and we don't have to run them, but we have to stay firm and deal with them. What I can say, concerning to what Rajabu have been saying, I may say you just in that time you want to harm yourself. Better to do other things that can take out, your stress, things like that. Yes, you may be embarrassed, but to harm yourself is not the solution, because when you harm yourself, it's, temporarily. It's a short time. But after that, you are going just to regret because you harm yourself, and those scars are going to remain. Sometimes it can be even double. Because when you still have those scars that maybe you harm yourself, you cut yourself, things like that, maybe after days, After forgetting that, you may see those scars and remember what happened. That can even lead you to another sector where you're going to find yourself doing other things that you couldn't do. That's what I can say about, what my brother have been saying.
Well, you heard his viewpoint and the way he understands people harming themselves. So there are so many different types of, harming ourselves, because it all depends on, maybe the intent. If you really want to just maybe to relieve the pain, or you just want to feel better than how you were feeling before. But here we also have maybe this aspect that people maybe don't take as a harm, a self-harm. Like young people today, you see we have so many young guys who are addicted to drugs, who even, drink too much alcohol. They go over, what they are supposed to take. And, it's the dosage that makes the poison. So sometimes you're feeling they're just killing themselves, slow by slow. At the end of the day, you'll find they no longer even, have strength to work, or they even going to die because of maybe some illnesses, some diseases they took from, abusing with drugs and, alcohol. So can you take that set of people in the one that harm themselves, or just, a simple habit or things like that? Do you think they are harming themselves? If they are harming themselves, why do you think they do it, and what are maybe the consequences? How can they deal with that?
Yeah, this for you guys, I think, of course, the problem of nowadays, people, they want to convince each other. Like, if I am actually stressed, so you want to convince me that I can go to church. Whereas I think if I drink beer, I feel okay. If I take drugs, I feel okay. But you come to convince me now, so you should pray so as stress can reduce. No. But it's okay when you are actually stressed. If you feel like taking drugs, if you feel like taking beers, it's okay. Go and take them. So if you feel okay now, you can stop that. But now people, they will come and tell you, oh, that's very bad. No, let him live his life. That's his life, by the way. So you shouldn't give them obligations, give them so many things like to follow, whereas they have their own life. So if I think if I take drugs and after 2 hours I feel okay, it's okay. Let him take that. Yeah, that's what I can say, in fact.
Right, Yusuf?
Yes, what I can ask my brother, do you think that after taking those drugs, like let's take an example, like you are overdose, you see, after that time, I know that you are not going to forget everything that, make you stressed, maybe like something bad happened to you, maybe you are lonely, you are alone, people, they don't want to talk to you, everybody just try just to let you alone, you see. Does it, when you go to take, or when you are overdose, after that period that you were overdose, do you think that your anger is going to reduce? And if it's going to reduce, I am totally sure that it's only on that time. But after 1 day or after hours, you are going just to have the same mind. In that case, that cannot be just, a solution if you try to analyze, because if you decided to maybe to cut yourself, doing something that you are going just to self-harming yourself, in that case, I don't see any reason just to do that. Better to find other ways just to do that. It's what I can say.
Well, I see he has something to say.
Yeah, of course, I have something to say. But by the way, I said it before. Suppose that you're a parent. You see, you're a parent, of course. But imagine now you are actually stressed, very stressed, to the extent that you feel like you can kill someone, isn't it? So imagine you have children, and you are actually stressed. You don't know how they are going to eat. You don't know how they are going to wear. You don't know how they are going to study. So all of them are stresses. isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So imagine now you have your drug, you have your beer in your home, or you have anything that can harm you.
You,
harm other
you have
person.
worlds whereby you can even punch.
Of course, yeah. So do you think if I am actually stressed, I should go and take the other person and punch him so as I can reduce my stress, or I can go and take other children so as I can give them drugs so as my anger can reduce? No. So I should take them myself, not go into other people and give them. So if I see the wall, I can go and punch it. I feel okay, that's very fine for me. But it's not good now, and you take someone, you punch him because you are actually stressed. So everyone who is living in this world should have been ended because of your stresses. So it's very good now when you are stressed and you take a war, you punch it. You take drugs, you drug. Yeah, that's very good, man. Because of course, by the way, when you take drugs and you feel okay, and that's time. So you are not going to take drugs because you want stresses of all the time to be ended. No. So you are actually preventing the stresses of only that time. That's the whole, the permanent time you are going to live in this world. So
which means you will find yourself, getting familiar with you'll be addicted to drugs.
Yeah, of course. Being addicted is something which is actually normal, by the way, because a person can be addicted in so many ways. Like I give you the example of a person is addicted in football. So like when he doesn't have football, is like something which is actually hard for him, but it's okay.
Even when you're addicted to drugs, there's no any problem?
No, there is. So that's your life, by the way. It's okay. So of course, and that's have even the impact to the country. Imagine now Burundi, we are overpopulated. So we miss how our population can be reduced. So I think even taking drugs must be one of the solutions in the country.
You are so cynic. I'm telling you.
No, I'm not.
You just care about your life. Any other person. Now at least you are coming, but the solution you came up with, I beg to disagree with it because people taking drug cannot really be the solution for coping up with the demography. People are, of course, increasing, but we can maybe find some other ways, let people to consume things that can just, come on.
I say that because, when a person is dead, the other one is born, isn't it? So which means that if you harm yourself instead of harming other person or other people, that's very good, by the way. So you shouldn't be stressed and you take your children, you punch them because you are stressed, But you should harm yourself, maybe to show that other people you are stressed. Yeah, that's good.
That one I got it.
And
that one
coming to the country, by the way, coming to the country, I said that's because, as you can see, I said before, if someone is dead, the other one is born. So that means if you kill yourself, maybe you give the way to the other children who are coming.
Harming oneself, using drugs or heavy alcohol. You don't die right away.
Yeah.
You just maybe adding to the number of people are suffering who need some medical treatment, which means you even require some more budget for the country to to try to treat you, or to maybe try to how do you call that? Those centers that are helping people to get back to the right track. You see, so that's kind of money, finances that the country will have to use instead of using the money in some investment project like farming or other infrastructures. They come with their money to help people who are suffering from things that they were causing themselves. You see, that's why maybe you're talking about suicide, but also something else. So let's also listen from Yusufu to get to know if that's really good. People harming themselves because they are preventing themselves from harming others, like helping the society not to, you know, you hope you heard what he was talking about.
Yes, as I said before, I mean, when you are trying just to harm yourself, it's like you are putting, double. You double things. You make it, you take it from bad to worst. Like as you said, instead of harming others, maybe punching others, better to punch on wall, things like that. Also, I can give you an advice. Just punching there, you may even, having some wounds that can even take, time just to be cured, things like that. So better if you have, like, we have gyms, and in those gyms there are a lot of things that you may punch. You wear those, kaiten, things like that, and then you go to punch something which is softened. Like you may take your pillow, punch them. Because when you are punching pillows, you are not going just to harm yourself, as you could, harm when you are beating somewhere or cutting your body or doing something bad to your body. Here self-injury. Better just to do other things. As I said, you may punch even pillows. After that, you may even take, some, maybe you may even listen to songs, but not, slow songs. Songs which are maybe reggae, just to decrease, the stress. Maybe, as I was saying, there is a lot of ways, actually. If you feel like it is hard just to tell, people what you have in your mind, just try to find those who are, you trust the most. Tell them your problem. Maybe they may help you. Why do you always have just to stay with things in your heart? It's why there are going to be many, and when they explode, you start to get those stress, depressions, things like that. So better to do other things than harming yourself. Better to not harm yourself and do other things just can reduce the stress that you have.
We concentrated ourselves on self-harm and self-injury, and let us talk a little bit about suicide. Mm-hmm. Do you think there is anything that can push you to suicide? Like they do say that many people suicide themselves, like young people especially. They are those guys who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Those guys who are born in wealthy families. Because they have been spoiled, then they can't even, control sometimes their stress or their anger. They just freak out right away, and when they feel anxious, they can't really try to cool down, and sometimes they say, why? Because they're not even accustomed to maybe like hard life, sometimes hardships, and then they say, let me put an end to my life. So do you have, that's really true, people who say that are right or it's wrong, anybody can suicide himself, not only people who are born in well families?
Yeah, before going first in suicide, I would like to say something before
yeah, come on, no problem.
In the other debate. But I think he said a very good word, by the way. There is so many ways of, reducing your anger. You said that?
Of course.
Yeah, so I think even harming yourself, that's one of the way. Because, like there are some people when they take their pillows and punch them, they don't feel okay. They feel like stress are still the same. They feel like they have, of course, the same problems. But when, of course, they see scars, it's okay for them. They feel like I'm now like in a good condition. So I think, as you said, there are so many ways of reducing your anger. So that's one of the ways to reduce your anger.
For you, if you don't see bruises on your body, you
so
can say that.
That's one of the way. So by the way, coming back to the second point, suicide. Of course, there are so many people who are suiciding themselves. So like these guys in Pakistan, maybe they have this ideology of, they call it suicide ideology. So it is actually the study of suiciding yourself. So those guys, they learn it, they practice it, and they have their beliefs, of course. So you said something about children who are born in,
Rich families.
Rich family, of course. So those guys, I think they are actually unable to control their stresses, and you find they suicide themselves. So that happens everywhere, and it's, of course, it can happen when you have other beliefs. Like these guys, they have a suicide ideation, which means it is actually, in the other word, is plagiatism. So it's actually those guys, when they suicide themselves or suicide with other people, they feel okay. They have that belief, like when they suicide with the other people, they will go in the heaven. So, of course, that's happening everywhere, and it is normal thing. It's not because you hear like other person is suiciding themselves, you should suicide yourself too. No. So it's something which is very easy happening all over the world.
So, what can be the real cause of somebody, willing to die? I mean,
yeah. So I think there are so many reasons. Firstly, a person can see like he doesn't have any other thing that he's going to do in this world. Like, let me give you the example of this boy. Is called Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, he said, "I want to die." So maybe that can be the one of the reasons that they're suiciding themselves, because they see everything that's happening in the world, they have done it. Everything happening in the world, they have eaten it. Everything which is happening, like any kind of beautiful women, they have, slept with them.
Mm.
So they feel like, I don't have any other thing to do in this world. I have to, to die. So that's that's maybe one of the reasons. And the other reason can be maybe they have so many stresses. Like in Indian, in the former time before, it could be like these farmers, they could kill themselves because they don't have anything to help them. So imagine like a farmer in India is getting lesser than everyone who is working in India. So that could be a shame for him. And he feels like he go in the bank to get the loan. So the bank is going, like to say, give back the loan. Maybe his clubs is not getting in the market as he wanted. So they think they had the ideology of when they kill themselves, they give $200 to the family because maybe the father passed away. So that could be one of course of the reason behind killing yourself. So I think there are so many reasons. You can't say all of them and finish them because, of course, even missing money may be one of them because people, they are missing money and they feel like, oh no, what am I going to eat? So they decide to kill themselves. So that's a suicide. So it's happening all over the world.
Yeah, great. Yusuf, what do you think about that? Do you think people can kill themselves without any, problem or without any people? Because when you die, when you're dead, you can't even regret, by the way. So, I don't know, do you think people thinking that people who kill themselves, suicide themselves, are people coming from rich families? Are they right? Or what are maybe your take on the causes that can lead people to?
What I can say about your question, for sure, is not only rich people or people from rich family whom are killing themselves, but there are a lot of persons that they are killing themselves, even poor guys, they are killing themselves, things like that, depending on what they just prefer to. Like some guys are suiciding themselves. We do hear that it's because of rejections. Maybe a boy tried to humanize a lady. She refused, then she said, I can't marry any lady. In that case, he may feel like he's worthless, he's not important. He feel like, I can suicide myself, I may die, nothing I'm doing in this world. You see, also separation. Maybe you have your wife for long times. It's been age you are with your wife and you find you are separate unwillingly. You find you still want just to live with your wife, but your wife doesn't want it. In that case, because there is separation between you, something that separates you, you feel like nothing you can do in this world. You feel like I am worthless, better to die staying, alive. Yes, my brother have been saying the list, some of them. So what I can add on them is, those two, separation, rejections. Sometimes even mental disease or mental health. You find people are having trouble in their mind. Maybe they have trauma. You find something big that happened in the past. When they remember what's happening, like maybe wars, they find they miss a lot of guys in their country, friends, maybe parents. In that case, they may feel like, who am I just to stay in this world, whereas my parents are not around? Maybe he doesn't have any support. Maybe parents, they were, supporting the guy, but they are not around. In that case, he may feel lonely, say, better to die than staying in this world. That's what I can say about your question.
Well, thank you for your input, and I just want to get back a little bit to some of what you've been saying. I don't know whether we can put them in the factors or in the ways that somebody can use to prevent from self-harm and suicide. I don't know whether he can be also for that it's really useful to prevent from self-harm, or we're gonna maybe listen from him also if he think it's good to prevent from self-harm or just to avoid self-harm and suicide. If there are some of the ways that you think somebody can use this, you can elaborate on that a little bit.
Saying about self-harm and suicide, like you saying prevention?
Yeah, sure.
So you prevent yourself from doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. There are so many ways that you can use, because there are people who have learned about that. They can advise you, of course, but I think instead of suiciding other people because you are stressed, you should do it yourself. By the way, and there are other people doing that because they are maybe of course, stressed. But what I can say in fact is that there are so many ways. You can go in approaching someone that you trust the most, like going to those guys who have learned about, they call it mentology, I don't know. So is that you can approach them and you discuss a little bit about that. They tell you what to do, they tell you what to not do. So it's something good when you prevent from suiciding, of course, because maybe when you are alive, there are maybe other gifted, which is of course besides you, that they need you, of course. So when you suicide yourself, it means they are going to lose something in the country, even apart from society. But I think talking with those guys, and when you suicide yourself, imagine if you suicide yourself. Maybe I needed you before, but you suicide yourself. So that's something bad. So
that's normal.
Of course, it's normal. It's normal. So you should talk to those guys, mentor. They call them. I forget the word, but
psychologists or what?
Yeah, of course, psychologists. You can talk to them. They tell you what to do. They tell you what you shouldn't follow and what you should follow. Because when you suicide yourself, of course, the country is going to lose. So they lose many things apart from you. Because there are so many things, maybe if you could help the country, but you're not going to help it because you suicide yourself.
But for self-harm and self-injury,
no, that's okay.
Matter.
It's very simple. You can, of course, I told you the reason, by the way. Instead of harming the other person, you should harm yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
the Indian culture.
Yeah.
We got it. Okay.
Yeah, of course. In fact, I can say that. Maybe you guys, you have other things to say, but in fact, I should say that.
Yeah, prevention, you done. Yeah. Okay, Yusuf, what do you think about the prevention from self-injury, self-damage, or suicide as well?
Yes, as I said before, I mentioned some, of ideology or some ways just to prevent ourselves from that. Because if we try to analyze, even, self-injury can lead you to suicide yourself. In that case, because if you are injuring yourself or you are injuring yourself, sometimes it may even be hard. You find you are not getting to the point that you feel like you could get. Your anger or maybe your stress are not well relieved. In that case, you feel like this is not the better one. Maybe let me suicide myself. You see, here when you are having, self-harm, it may even lead you just to arrive, in suicide mission. You find you are losing your life due to the fact that, you are not getting someone to support you. In that case, first of all, you may, as I said, you may start just to look for the friend that you trust the most. Friends. If you feel like you don't have any friends, maybe approach your parents, if you have them, or old people. Say they can give you pieces of advice. You find you are not just going to harm yourself. You are not even going just to suicide. As Rajab said, the country can be losing. Let's take an example, like maybe you are not well financially. In that case, you may say, oh, I have a family, so better to kill myself. Now imagine you kill yourself. The better way, you could try to figure out the way that you could work and get money to help your family. But now your family miss you. Also, the work that you could help them. You find out it's double. You miss they miss two things at the same time. But if you are there, maybe you may find some ways just to get money and, feed your family. But imagine now you are not even around. You are not going even to know what is going on in your family. Maybe something that I can add on it just to prevent, you may try just to go to enjoy, go to beaches. If you are not, you are going to try your hobbies. If you are good at playing football, take football, go kick them with your anger, or try to find a big place where you could, scream, you could shout, or you can shout a lot, telling your anger, saying what is on your heart. Maybe in this case, you are going just to reduce your anger, maybe stress, depression, things like that. Maybe the trauma that you are having, it's not going to just to end at the same time, but slow by slow, it's going just to reduce. Than killing yourself, taking your own life, or harming yourself, things like that. That's what I can say, or I can contribute in your question.
Well, there's some, here we're talking about premarital sex. We won't come back to that because it's not the situation, but we know that's something young people do even before marriage, of course. And there is one case that happened in the country. A young guy died when he was into that. Mm-hmm. You understand? So sometimes there are some sexual practice that, put the situation of self-injury or self-harm, and sometimes then we can say, I don't know whether we can call that suicide, but it's not suicide, because suicide, there is that intent behind. Yeah. You want to kill yourself. So do you think we should ban that, or people, how can we deal with that? Maybe is it on personal level? They can be even on community level or on the country level, so as people don't put themselves in the such situations.
Yeah, I think before saying something, Yusuf is bringing back the recently topic. So I have one question to ask you guys. So you think between harming other person and harming yourself, what do you choose?
We got it. You better harm yourself. It's okay. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but you don't have just to force us just to choose. And I may ask you again a question. Between harming yourself and stay without, harming yourself.
Yeah, sure.
What can you choose?
Of course, you don't even have to harm yourself.
No, it depends. That's why I told you. You can stay like that, but your stress, of course, is still the same.
Yes, between those two.
There's some other ways to reduce the stress or to get rid of it. You maybe read a book, depending, or maybe watch a movie, or maybe listen to music. As I told you, maybe.
Of course, that's different, as I said.
But you don't harm yourself in that case.
You like that? Man, I don't like that. This boy like that. I don't like that.
So you like to harm yourself. It's okay. We don't get back to that.
So coming back to what's happened in our country, of course, there are so many ways to convince people that they shouldn't do premarital sex. Yeah, of course, that's, as I said before, that's one of our colleagues in school. So we used to study in the same establishment. So I think that's a good thing because, you know, like, it is not good. We are not octogenarian people. So it is that the government should first convince children, and they put centers for children to learn that. They convince you the bad things of that. I mean, the bad words and the bad consequences of doing premarital sex. So that's, of course, the first way, and I think we have the other ways, like people who have experienced that. Maybe they know that so many things about that. So they come at your home, they convince you, they tell you the bad things, they tell you the consequences of doing that. They tell you, maybe there is a good consequences, but we should first deal with that by convincing children. And of course, our parents, they don't tell anything about, they don't talk, with their children. Maybe because of the phones, maybe because of movies. So that's something which is hard and very bad. So they should first, our parents should talk to their children. So maybe our parents, sometimes they do wrong, I'm sorry to say that. So it's like they go home, over time. They are late home. So they will not have the time to talk to their children. So that's maybe one of the reasons. Our parents are in the bars. They don't care about us.
One day maybe we find a topic whereby you can try to frame that in a very perfect way. So maybe because I see you're running out of time, let's maybe listen from Yusuf and then shift to the next section.
Thank you again. What I can say, maybe our parents should, give us more information about that. Because if you are telling people, this is not good. If it's not good, give him or her more details. If you do this, you are going to meet with these consequences. But if you only say, this is bad, children must say, better let me test it to see how it is. And you found they are jeopardizing themselves. They put themselves in danger. Better at school, we learn it. We do learn, about those things. Sexual intercourse. They show us how to prevent. So we don't have to hurry, having premarital sex. We just should wait for our age will arrive. So we have just to prevent it by not, always, every time, sitting with girls is not bad, but to try to see the group that you are in. Where you sit, see people that you are together. Maybe your friends can be a source of you to engage yourself, in premarital sex. In that case, if our parents are not giving us, more details and idea about sexual intercourse, it's where you find, we are doing things wrongly. Like, if your friend teaches you, he's going to teach you in the wrong way, in bad ways. So we are not going just to blame our parents. This is a huge topic and a hard topic for a biological father and mother just to tell you. Better just our aunt, uncle, as in former times they did. They do just invite those guys, your relative, they come and share with you how you can prevent. Because it's very hard for parents, your biological parent, to tell you all of things. Some things is going to hard.
That's the problem, but because our uncles and our aunties are not the ones to tell us that. Our parents are the ones. Besides the complications they have, maybe they say, no, I can't talk such subject. No, it's very easy to talk to your children like that. Maybe you should even see ages to talk to them that, because their parents they say, no, I can't tell you that, you're still young. No, so what is the specific age of telling him or her that?
Well, that's maybe another topic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your different, opinions, and they were so constructive and so instructive. So let's shift to the next section, which is quiz time. Thank you. This is the other section whereby we ask like 2 questions to our guests, and I will just go straight to the first one, or maybe the last one, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Which country has the highest suicide rate in the world? You got my question, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a very tough question. Maybe you can guess.
You just want to guess. Okay, because you don't know, then you guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's India.
India.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that is India, but maybe Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Yes.
Well, I don't have the right answer right now, because my research has shown me data from 2021. It was an African country. Can you now guess? Another question then. The second question, in 2021. I don't know whether it's still the case today.
Is it South African?
You're not far, but a little bit, closer to the right answer. So maybe Yusuf can then find a country that is not far from South Africa.
I'm trying. Maybe Zimbabwe.
No,
So far?
you didn't. Okay.
But I was thinking about Senegal. This one is true. I believe it.
No. Senegal is so far,
So
from South Africa.
Oh.
Senegal is the west part of Africa.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, the last try, the last chance you can.
Maybe let me change Nigeria.
No, you going far. So you guys couldn't find it. Let me tell you which is the country. It is Lesotho. Lesotho, and yes, they had like 74, and pointing maybe to like person out of 100,000
That's bad.
per year who suicide themselves. You understand? It was too high in the world, not only in Africa, but it was in the world. So let's shift to the last section, which is we are gifted.
Yeah.
This is the last section, but not the least. We're going to find out what are the talents that you are holding here today. I mean, the studio, BNP. So let's start by the left side, because we've been starting from the right side almost every time the show. So Yusufu, do you know already your talent? What is your gift? If you know it already, you can maybe share with us.
Yes, I have a gift, and I may say that I'm slam poetry. I make slam. I'm slam maker, and that is my gift that I have. Yes.
Okay, any other?
Sometimes I do make jokes, things like that. You see, yes.
Okay, we're gonna enjoy the two. Don't worry. So, okay, Raja, what are your gifts?
Yeah, I think I have a gift, which is football. I like football very much, and it's just my gift because in Kota they used to call me Messi.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah. So I was actually too bad on that. So I think that's one of the gifts I like the most.
You were too bad on that.
Too bad. That's good, bad.
And then you became best, or maybe that's the
Yeah,
next
of course I
position.
am actually the best, I believe, because you know, like I have even played so many matches.
Which team?
I think
You have a team?
No, I maybe I abandoned it because of maybe some reasons behind. But the team was Saint Etienne, 20 quarters there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So great. Let's now then try to demonstrate the gifts that we have today. I don't know how you're gonna demonstrate football, you know, here, but maybe you're gonna find the ways to, you know, to tackle that. So would you please, maybe just in a nutshell, I mean, maybe in 1 minute or less than 1 minute, slam for us. You give us just one part of your poetry.
Yes, I may give you. I have a slam poetry, which is a nation. Can I start?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yes, a nation without education is like a nation without evolution. You have to take an action in order to build your nation. Sometimes I think about the coming generation, but I don't know where they will find inspiration. Only we have to work hard and hard where humiliation, discrimination can find a place. Sometimes I do think about today's generation. They only watch television without having a vision, any mission. They don't have even innovation. For sure, it's very hard. I think that's smallest one.
Wait, sure.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to the jokes. You know, you
Jokes?
can make some jokes, like two jokes, yeah. So as we laugh and maybe our viewers laugh. We are lucky today you have you here.
Yes, you are having me today. I think it somehow beats because I was not in mood of making you laughing, but I'm gonna try.
You're already making us laugh.
So he's a very good comedian.
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure? Okay, I may say I'm 1 year old.
Yeah.
Don't you see it?
Hey.
I'm 1 year old. With beds.
1 year old man.
Oh, I put an S in old. That's already funny things. 1 year old.
Hey.
I mean, you discover, the mistake, 1 year old. For sure, today I was not in mood of making you laugh. Maybe next days.
Next day. Okay, we are laughing already. So thank you very much. You are 1 year old and you have already
Teeth and birds.
Can you speak?
Can you speak such
That's
a...
right. Yeah.
Okay, so how can we, demonstrate soccer here? It's impossible?
How? We didn't have a football. We don't have a ball. So, by the way, I'm not 1 year old. But I think demonstrating that maybe you can't have the gift that you don't follow. So I have many information about football. I know that, and by the way, I am a fan of my team, Barcelona. I'm crazy about that. So when it is actually beaten,
I heard that you won yesterday, right?
yeah, last time we won. Man, it was good.
It was so good.
Very good.
And there is this great player that came in and you are enjoying now.
Yeah, of course, Daniel Olmo. That's a very good player, by the way, because he scored the goal last time. And it was actually, for me, a very good thing, because if Barcelona is beaten, I never eat.
Don't tell me. Whereas he's being beaten like several times nowadays.
Yeah.
You are going just to stay without eating.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be hard for you.
Yeah, of course. Every time that it was beaten, I couldn't eat. My mother could tell me, why are you not eating? I said, no, my team was beaten. So it's like, of course, I know many information, by the way.
So what is the, let's say, the breaking news about soccer that you have today? So as we recognize what you are telling us, or we say this is true, what he's telling.
Breaking news?
Breaking news, yes. The hottest one.
The hottest one is that Kim Kardashian, do you know her? A wife of Kanye West, the singer from America.
Sure.
He's in love with Jude Bellingham. So,
Bellingham.
yeah, of course, that's a very is a star in football, by the way. But I'm sorry for fanatism of Real Madrid. This boy is not going to like to be in the pitch all the time because he has got the injury, a very bad injury that is going to stay out of the pitch more than 1 month. So I think that's a very bad information for Real Madrid fan. By the way, what I can tell you is that Barcelona, we are going to get a champion.
Wow, I appreciate that. So this guy is a great guy in sports field because he can even be a sport news reporter. The way I can, yes, sure, he's so talented in that domain. So that's really amazing. And I want to just say thank you guys for responding to my invite. Thank you, Brother Yusuf, for coming here today. And thank you also, Raja, for your presence in the studio.
You're welcome.
So this is then the end of the show. I just want to also thank our viewers for staying there this hour. I hope you enjoyed the show, so stay tuned to our channel BNP TV.